Very good morning to you. Tuesday, the 2nd of February. Our main story, urgent tests are being offered to 80,000 people in England after cases of a new South African coronavirus variant were found with no links to travel.
People across 8 areas are being asked to take tests, whether they have symptoms or not, after the government said the UK must come down hard on the variant. Andy Moore has more.
That and here on Breakfast we'll be speaking to the Universities Minister as well, Michelle Donnellan, about that, all sorts of other things as well. 7:30.
Also this morning, Captain Sir Tom Moore, to give him his full name, his family are with him in hospital after he was admitted with coronavirus on Sunday.
The 100-year-old was taken to Bedford Hospital after requiring help with his breathing.
Breakfast, John Maguire. The US President Joe Biden has threatened to reinstate sanctions in Myanmar after the country's military seized power and arrested Aung San Suu Kyi and other political leaders.
The UN and the UK have also condemned the takeover amid fears of potential protests and unrest. Let's get the latest now from us.
Massive protests are expected in Russia today as one of President Putin's fiercest critics appears in court.
Thousands of demonstrators have already been arrested. They're demanding the release of opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who's accused the Russian security forces of trying to kill him.
Let's speak to our correspondent in Moscow for us this morning.
A major winter storm has hit the northeastern United States, bringing heavy snowfall and blizzard-like conditions to New York State, Pennsylvania and New England.
New York City and New Jersey have both declared a state of emergency. Thousands of flights there have been cancelled, schools have been closed and coronavirus vaccinations have been postponed. Here's Mark LaBelle.
Parts of northern England, there is a lot going on out there.
You should be very thankful I'm here today, Louise.
I'm so thankful.
Honestly,
I mean, we're all thankful, aren't we?
The weather was ridiculously bad. When I got up at stupid o'clock,
yeah.
I sort of warned the office earlier that I might not get here at all. So
I did shout at you, didn't I, when we weren't doing our makeup in separate rooms, obviously. Have you seen the size of the snowflakes?
Yeah, well, let's find out from the chief. Good morning, Carol. What's happening out there?
And guiding us throughout the morning. Thank you very much.
Should we have a look at the papers for you this morning? The plan to crack down.
During the last few months, well, what is it, 9 months now of basically what's been going on, lots of people have been doing different sports, haven't they? And particularly open water swimming has had a sort of massive, it's not even a resurgence, it's a kind of, you know, a massive increase.
I don't know
well, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so apparently, forget wild swimming. This is the new thing to do.
What is it?
Bare skin running. For you, it makes you feel amazing. This is a retired police officer, David Pattenden. He's 72. It's apparently he started it. He's got this unusual hobby. But that's what you do. Apparently, when you feel a huge gust of ice cold wind, all of a sudden you're buzzing. Well, I bet you are. So yeah, that's the new thing. I will not be taking up. Do not fret, everybody.
I'm in full disagreement with that. I'm sure I saw Ben's face when you just suggested that as well. Ben's 22 minutes past 6, and our thoughts very much at the moment are with Captain Sir Tom Moore. He's one of the amazing people we've met during the past 12 months on Breakfast. Another is 91-year-old Holocaust survivor Ziggy Schipper.
Now, last year, I visited Ziggy at his home to hear his story, and also I lit a candle at Auschwitz on his behalf. Over the past few months, Ziggy has lost his wife, the love of his life, Jeanette, and he suffered a heart attack as well. But for all of us, he has a message of hope, as I've been finding out.
Oh, you must have really enjoyed speaking to him.
Do you know what? It's even though it's on, you know, through the internet or whatever, on Zoom or whatever, it is lovely to be able to chat to people again, isn't it?
Just seeing you give him a hug as the door opened as well.
I know.
That's a world we haven't seen
Takes
for a while.
Takes you back in a year, doesn't it? 6:28 right now. Let's get the news, the travel and the weather, wherever you are. Let's get you right up to date with what's going on in the news as well. Tens of thousands of people across England will be tested for the South African coronavirus variant after cases with no links to travel were detected.
Let's get a bit more on this story from one of our...
We have had a chat with the doctor about it.
We do it every day and it's really useful, isn't it? Sally's here.
During the late 1950s and the early 1960s, the Ladybird picture books were a huge success and inspired a whole generation of young nature lovers.
More than 60 years later, the popular Four Seasons books have been updated so that they're more relevant to today's children and the natural world around them. Wendy Hurrell reports. You have told us before it is winter, Carol, isn't it? But this is well, we need to watch your forecast especially. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, be careful out there. It's 10 to 7 now. For the last 8 years, Britain's only female professional 10-pin bowler has been pursuing her career in the US.
But when Verity Crawley's application to extend her athlete's visa was denied, she was forced to fly home. With bowling lanes off limits for now, she's been practising, this is absolutely brilliant, in her parents' hallway instead. Let's have a look at her in action. Verity Crawley joins us now. Very good morning to you from your very own bowling alley, I'm presuming, as well.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi.
You can go and use. I'm assuming that bowling is not classed as an elite sport. Is that why?
Correct.
So how does a well-oiled lane at a bowling alley compare to what looks like quite a thick rug in your parents' bungalow in Dorset? Towards the front door, just trying to get the geography right. Obviously, there's not many people coming to the front door at the minute. So how does it work in the house? I'm interested. I'm going to use this technique next time I go bowling, by the way. So this is
really a lot of strength and balance as well, haven't you?
Yeah, that's
I
definitely.
very much enjoyed that. Should we get some news, some
getting
travel?
actual top
And
tips
some, well,
as well.
I'm definitely developing that at home. Let's get news, travel and weather. Very important today, wherever you are this morning. See you in a moment. Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Louise Minchin and Dan Walker.
Our headlines for you at 7 o'clock. Morning to you, Tuesday the 2nd of February. Urgent tests are being offered to 80,000 people in England after cases of a new South African coronavirus variant were found with no links to travel.
People across 8 areas are being asked to take tests, whether they have symptoms or not, after the government said the UK must come down hard on the variant. Andy Moore reports.
Mr. Michelle Donnellan at 7:30 here on Breakfast.
In Scotland, the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, is expected to introduce new precautions for people arriving into the country. Let's pick up on this with us.
Captain Sir Tom Moore's family are with him in hospital after he was admitted with coronavirus on Sunday.
The 100-year-old was taken to Bedford Hospital after requiring help with his breathing.
A Breakfast John Maguire is there.
Because they are really, I know Carol's been talking about conditions out there, but there's a lot of, I think, unexpected snowfall overnight as well. Not many of the roads have been gritted this morning.
It goes without saying, do take care out there, and we'll keep you up to date with that as well. And throughout the programme, 11 minutes past 7.
I love that programme. It's very sad news. Far too young. 11 minutes past 7 this morning. We've got some breaking news, which Ben can reason to love Carol Kirkwood for you this morning. Reason number 782. What? This morning at 3:30, sent me a text message to check I was OK.
Did she?
And that the roads in Sheffield weren't too snowy. Because it has really been very strong and heavy snow in parts of the UK.
Yeah.
Carol, thank you for that. Meant a lot of that time in the morning.
Morning. Bless you, Dan.
Now, this weekend saw the introduction of new £800 fines in England for anyone attending a house party with more than 15 people. People gathering to socialise in private homes have been a major cause of rule breaking during lockdown.
Our Home Affairs correspondent June Kelly went out with Avon and Somerset Police, one of the forces which has immediately started using those new powers. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Carol. 7:15. As we've been hearing this morning, around 80,000 people in England will be offered urgent tests for the South Africa coronavirus variant after cases with no links to travel were found.
So let's talk about that. 25 minutes past 7.
The time now is the time we're going to get the news of travel and the weather. We'll be speaking to the government, lots to ask them about, in a few minutes' time, live on the programme. See you in a moment. Hello, good morning. Watching Breakfast with Louise and Dan this morning.
Let's get you up to date with the latest news. Just come out to 7:30. Door-to-door testing of 80,000 people in England will start today to detect cases of the South African coronavirus variant.